As I mentioned in the introduction, we have Sophia Finlay with us, Water and Catchments Officer, and she's going to explain exactly what this model's for and how we use it in Ku-ring-gai Council.
Okay, there's a few different things that we show on this model. The most obvious one is that we've got two different types of houses. So we've got the traditional house that you find around the place, and then we've got like a super sustainable house. This is the traditional house, and the traditional features of it are a lot of people like to have the dark colour roofs. It looks really good, but the problem is the dark colour absorbs all the heat from the sunlight, and obviously that means you've got going to need to spend more money and more energy cooling your house down with air conditioning. There's a lack of eaves on the side of the house, and once again they do the same thing. Eaves create a little bit of shade and cool your house down. There's no water tank on this house, so obviously all the water needs to come from potable water supplies for the garden and inside the house. Flushing good drinking water down the toilet is not probably the best idea.
So you're going to show us what happens when it actually rains, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Let's unleash a thunderstorm.
Okay. So what happens, the water runs off people's driveways onto the road into the vegetated swale, and as you can see when I put quite a lot of water on it, the filter goes into the swale and starts filtering through the special media. The soil in here, the special media, filters all the pollutants out of the water and slows it down rather than just going straight into the gutter along the row here. This is just the normal gutter. As you can see, there's a pit and a drain down the bottom where it goes straight down to the creek. Takes all the pollutants with it. The swale slows down the water, gets it to go more slowly, filters the pollutants out and delays the water doing damage to the creeks. The middle one here, where the water's just sitting on the top, you have a big front yard sometimes. People don't quite look after their grass. Maybe park their cars on top of it and it compacts the soil. And when you don't look after your soil, this is a good example of what happens. The water kind of just sits on top of the soil, stays there, maybe causes some erosion, and takes all those sediments and pollutants down to the creek as well, which isn't good. We don't want too much sediment in the creeks because it covers up all the habitat for the little fishies and bugs that live down there. Okay, so when it rains on the super sustainable house, there's a couple of things. At the back here, we've got a water tank, and so some of the water would go into the water tank. And at the front, the most important bit is that what we've got here is a little constructed rain garden. So all the excess water runs off the property, goes into this filter garden, or rain garden as they're known, and the water slowly filters down through the garden, through the soil below, and it filters out all the pollutants, slows the water down, and acts in a similar way to the swale.
So what is a swale?
A swale is like a vegetated drain, really, like a grassy drain. Instead of having a gutter with concrete, you've got a bit of a ditch that has plants in it, and the plants and the soil together act to filter out the pollutants.
So are they better than gutters? Are they better than concrete?
Yeah, well, it depends where you put them. Sometimes you want to have a gutter, you want to have concrete because you don't want things to flood. But if that's not such a big issue, if you've got a nice flat area, it's much better to have a swale where you can slow the water down, filter out the pollutants and help your catchments and your creeks.
So does council let you build these rain gardens?
Yeah, absolutely. You can build big ones in your front yard like this, or you can just build little ones in like a planter box. And make them really easily. You just need to remember, if you're building a big one, you may need a DA, depending on how big it is. And if you're connecting the drainage layer of your rain garden, so your bottom of your rain garden, if you're connecting it back to the stormwater system, you need to get a licensed plumber to do that connection.
Right, excellent.